you so much. I have to, of course, firstly apologize for being very, very late today. Everybody asks me, how do you manage, being a working mother, having a young child, having a career, having a social life? And the truth is that I obviously don't manage very well, and it's very difficult to multitask. So you have to forgive me for being late today, and thank you all for being patient and for waiting. I was really excited to come today. Because what is happening in the world is really very interesting for me as a person, as a user of technology, but most importantly as a young parent. Really, I've had many challenges in life up until now, but one of the most challenging things that I've ever had to face is to be a parent. And I'm a very competitive person also. Most of my friends will tell you that. So when I'm given something to do, I want to be the best at it. And what more can you be invested in than the development and the growth of your own child? Somebody who's a part of you and that you have this unspeakable bond with, and then, you give birth to her and she's out in the world and you can see her becoming her own person, and you know how important your influence is on her. How do you be a good parent? How do you raise a child that is good with the right values? What are the right values? How much control, how much discipline, how much should you let them explore? How much should you teach? How much should you guide? These are things that I wrestle with every day, and everyone has an opinion on it. Often those opinions are contradictory, conflicting, and it can be very confusing. So and especially I think when you are in the public eye, when it's not just me watching Inaya grow up, but you are all seeing her take her first steps, do her first wave, interact with the media. When she was 3 months, 6 months, you've seen her grow on social media as well. I feel that the pressure is more on me as a parent to deliver those expectations, as well as, at some point she will also be aware that she's in the public eye. There are already people who ask me, what do you want Inaya to be when she grows up? Do you think that she'll be a sports person like, her grandfather? Maybe she'll be the captain of the Indian women's cricket team. Will she be an actor, given that she's surrounded by so many actors? And it's impossible to answer questions, but I think the one thing that I always turn to is that I don't know what she's going to be, but I want to empower her to be the best at whatever she chooses to be. I want her to have choices in the world. I think that's what empowerment is about. And I just want her to grow into a beautiful person with the right values, whatever those right values are, that we together as a family and a society decide, we want our children to become. One of the most hotly debated subjects when it comes to parenting is, of course, the use of technology. And that's something that, again, as young mothers, young parents, we discuss all the time. How much technology is good for your child to be exposed to. I've had conversations myself with child psychologists and neuroscientists because I am so competitive and I want to know, I want to do everything properly. How much screen time, when is a good time to introduce them to screen time. And I remember having a very interesting chat also with a neuroscientist, for a pediatric neuroscientist, who said, it's not screen time. I said, so many grandparents live so far away from her. So many relatives want to chat with her on FaceTime or WhatsApp video calls, etc. I don't want her to do that because I've been told no screen time at all. And he said, that's not true. What is bad about technology is when it's not interactive with the child. That's what retards the child's development. So FaceTime with the grandparent is good because there's an interaction that's happening. There's a social interaction. There's expressions. It's a two-way conversation. So I thought that was an interesting takeaway. And that's where I thought that I can bend the way that I think and the way that we've been conditioned as new age parents to accept technology into my parenting. Again, I completely appreciate the value of what we're going to see today, the launch. I don't want to give away too much, and I actually don't know too much also because this is an advancement on the previous model, MIKO 1. So I'm also here to learn. But I think that there's so much wonderful development that's happened, whereby as, again, two working parents in a house, where often when I'm at work and Kunal is at work, I have to leave Inaya with trusted help, and we're lucky to have that. But how much stimulation is she getting all day when neither of us is around? How much interest is that person taking in showing her books or teaching her about colors and words and the world and physical exercise, fun, music, those are things that I wanted to be surrounded with at all times, because the early ages of being a child are the most important when it comes to development. But can I give up my job for that? Should I give up my job for that? Those are, again, things that I grapple with. What I love about, what is being developed again, when I learned that there's an Indian tech company that's actually creating that gateway, enabling us to use technology responsibly when it comes to parenting, I was very excited, which is why I'm so happy to be here. This is something that I have seen a little bit of. It's really something that, again, as I stress time and time again, as the households are becoming more and more non-joint and, unitary, it's a wonderful thing to expose your child to, a lot to learn from, such that where you can limit the social content that your child is being exposed to through technology, as well as use it in an interactive way that will foster development. So that's what we're here to say. I'm speaking about it ambiguously also because I know that people have spoken before me. I don't know how much has been said already and how much will be said. But I'm here to talk about how it'll be wonderful and how I'm so grateful that Emotex has come up with something like MIKO 1, and how I'm excited to learn about MIKO 2, because this is something that I want to introduce in Aya 2 and that I know I'm going to be leaning on very heavily. I'm not saying it replaces people. I don't think anything can replace people and family and interaction, but it's something that we can incorporate into our parenting. So I want to congratulate Emotex. I want to congratulate Stay and his whole team on what they've done. And thank you very much for inviting me here today and making me a part of today. And I can't wait to learn more.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I have to tell you all something. Whenever we've connected with ma'am, her first, with Soha, her first preference was in Aya's schedule, in Aya's timeline. Her world revolves around that.
That's true.
And as the process of development of MIKO, we interact with so many parents, mothers, fathers across our country. Child is the first step for every parent, and I think we really get to learn when we become parents, all of us, on what kind of steps to follow. So thank you so much for this.
Thank you.
Just a quick
आज के लॉन्च के लिए मैं बहुत ही एक्साइटेड थी. Today is the launch of MIKO 2, which is of course the second edition after MIKO 1. This is a product of the Emotics, and you're of course yes, Sneh, I know that, but I was saying that you are the brain behind MIKO 2, and it was a very exciting launch. As a new parent, we're always looking to help our child's development. Especially working parents जो ज़्यादा टाइम घर पे नहीं स्पेंड कर पाते हैं, हम हमेशा सोचते हैं कि हाउ डू वी स्टिमुलेट द चाइल्ड, क्या अच्छा कर सकते हैं हम अपने बच्चों के लिए, हाउ डू वी गिव देम द राइट वैल्यूज़, हाउ डू वी बी देयर फॉर देम इमोशनली, वर्चुअली, एजुकेशनली, इन अ रिस्पॉन्सिबल वे, जहाँ पे ज़्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल भी नहीं किया जाए. बट दिस आई थिंक इज़ द आंसर. Because it's fun, it's entertaining, it's educational, it provides emotional assistance also, it has music, it's uplifting, and it's really almost magical, I think, in terms of what they've done, especially the leap from MIKO 1 to MIKO 2. So I think it's going to be in the markets at Christmas time and on sale at Hamleys.
Correct.
And I think it's a great Christmas present for all the young children.
Features के बाद तो सबसे बेस्ट features कौन सा लगा?
Features इसमें मुझे सबसे अच्छा ये लगा कि सबसे पहले इसमें I don't even understand the technology behind it. For me, that's why I'm saying it's magical. एक जो face recognition होता है, so it can actually sense when somebody walks into a room. It can initiate a conversation. जो भी आपके बच्चे ने स्कूल में जो पढ़ाई किया है, जब वो घर लौटेंगे, then it can do exam revision या test revision अपने बच्चों के साथ. यहाँ पे security features भी हैं, जहाँ पे आपका पूरा जो data है private रहेगा, which I thought was a wonderful feature also, जो उन्होंने add किया था. And then you can actually also call your child and be available. आपका face, you can make, what is it called? The feature? Teleconnect. So एक teleconnect feature है, जहाँ पे आप अपने बच्चे को देख सकते हैं घर पे खेलते हुए, and this can actually revolve and move with your child. So there are so many wonderful features in this, and of course it also dances very well.
NI के लिए क्या लेके जाएंगे आप?
बिल्कुल, ये तो मैं I'm already putting this in my handbag, which is why I've color coordinated this with. I think it goes really well. You're coming home with me, yes? Yes.
और तैमूर की काफी कंपैरिजन की जाती है सोशल मीडिया साइट से. क्या कहना चाहेंगे इसके बारे में?
अभी क्या कह सकती हूँ मैं, सोशल मीडिया पे पॉपुलर हैं ये बच्चे. इट्स अ फैक्ट ऑफ लाइफ.
एक सेलिब्रिटी बन गए हम ये बोल सकते हैं.
I don't know उनको क्या बुला सकते हैं. They are popular on social media. That's all I can say.
इसके अलावा सारा मैम की मूवी आज 2 मूवी बैक टू बैक है, दोनों बड़ी मूवी है, तो क्या कहना चाहिए उनके लिए?
उनके लिए मैं बहुत ही एक्साइटेड हूँ. आई थिंक दैट शी इज़ वेरी टैलेंटेड. मुझे केदारनाथ का प्रोमो बहुत ही अच्छा लगा, उनका काम बहुत ही अच्छा लगा, उनका जो एपिसोड था कॉफ़ी करण, उनका वो भी एपिसोड बहुत अच्छा लगा. सो शी इज़ कॉन्फिडेंट, शी इज़ वेरी टैलेंटेड, एंड आई थिंक दैट शी इज़ गॉट द राइट फिल्म ऑल्सो टू लॉन्च her, and I think the promo of the film also looks exceptional. So I think that she's going to make a big impact, and I wish her all the best. नहीं, मैं बिल्कुल एडवाइस नहीं, ना तो उनको मेरा एडवाइस चाहिए, नहीं तो मैं देना चाहती हूँ. शी इज़ वेरी केपेबल. माई मदर ऑलवेज सेड कि सेट पे एक ही डायरेक्टर है, सो डोंट गेट कंफ्यूज, यू मस्ट लिसन टू योर डायरेक्टर. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much.
No, not at all. Thank you.